seeking new ways of helping. The world around us will never be the same. We work differently, we see differently. Resilience shall strengthen our abilities. We think differently, act responsibly. We embrace the future as we honor the past. We serve to change lives. We serve to change lives. We're people of action, committed, you and me. We serve to change lives. We serve to change lives. United in service to our global family. We're people of action, committed, you and me. We serve to change lives. We serve to change lives. A change for the better. We are Rotary.
And we are always here to change lives. So, hello everyone. We'll be with you, the host for today's session, Mohammed El-Shabini. I'm the secretary of the club, Rotaract Sunrise for District 2451, and will be the host for you today. So, wish you all enjoy our session with our great Rotarians, our Rotaract leaders from everywhere. So, let's start by our session rules. Please keep your mic muted during our presenting, so not disturb anyone. And you feel free to write to the chat and write your questions. And after the presentation, we will discuss it and we'll say it, answer it all. So, at first, I would like to welcome our club president, Shru Ali, to say to you all some awesome words. So, Shru, hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. This is Shuru Ali, President of Rotaract Sunrise, District 2451. It's such an honor having a prominent Rotarian Sunrise series like the past Rotary International President, Barry Rassin. We are very pleased to have you with us today as our speaker. Thank you so much for your immediate response and your cheerful willingness to make this day happen. I'd also like to welcome our past district governor, Abdelhamid El Awa. Thank you so much for supporting us and for your generosity in joining our event. Last but not least, Rotarians and Rotaractors, thank you all for being with us today. Hope you enjoy our session with the great mind, Barry Rassin. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shru. And I think everyone here is very excited to hear from these great ones. So I'm gonna move to the second great one, and please all welcome our past District 2451 President, District Governor, I'm sorry, Mr. Abdelhamid El Awa.
Hi, أهلا وسهلا بحضراتكم. Thank you so much for your kind invitation. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, Mr. Here you go.
Okay, and can you see me?
Really good.
Perfect. It's a great pleasure and honor always to have with us on Zoom meetings, past Rotary International President Barry Rassin, who was the president of the great organization of Rotary during the year when I was a district governor, and this was a great privilege, a great honor for me to work with him throughout the year. Let me introduce past Rotary International President Barry Rassin to all of you guys. Barry, are you here? Are you with us here?
I am, Abdul. Good to be with you.
Great. Great to see you always, my dear friend. Let me share, please, with you my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen, my friends? Perfect.
Yes.
Well, as I said, it's a great pleasure and an honor always to have past Rotary International President Barry Rassin with us on Zoom meetings in Egypt. He has been always there for us in different and many topics through Zoom meetings, really. Rotary International President, past Rotary International President for the year 2018, 2019, Barry Rassin is a member of Rotary Club of East Nassau, New Providence of Bahamas, District 7020. Barry Rassin has an MBA in Health and Hospital Administration from the University of Florida, and is the first fellow of the American College of Healthcare Executives in the Bahamas. He recently retired after 38 years as president of Doctors Hospital Health System, where he continues to serve as an advisor. Past Rotary International President Barry Rassin, a Rotarian since 1980, member of the Rotary International Board of Directors, trustee and vice chair of the Rotary Foundation, as well as chairman of the Shaping Rotary's Future. He has served on many initiatives in the Bahamas and is currently chairman of Volunteer Bahamas, a national program to create a culture of volunteerism in the country. Barry's spouse is Esther, has always been a strong supporter of Barry's humanitarian efforts. Esther is a retired banker and a strong advocate for family values. She is a recipient of Stuart Knowles Humanitarian Award. Barry and Esther are major donors and benefactors of the Rotary Foundation. Past Rotary International President Rassin is the founder of Hanwash, Haiti National Water Sanitation and Hygiene Strategy, a collaborative program to bring potable water and satisfactory sanitation to all the citizens of Haiti. This is a multi-decade US $2.3 billion initiative. Mr. Rassin is the chair of the US-based 501c3 Hanwash Charitable Foundation. We had the pleasure and honor of your kind visit, dear past Rotary International President, to Egypt back in March 2019. Really, it was such a memorable visit. We enjoyed your company. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Absolutely.
Past Rotary International President, you had inaugurated two of our most remarkable humanitarian projects during your visit to Egypt, if you remember. One of them is the floating hospital, the Nile cruise, where we transformed to a full hospital with 20 different clinics to supply and to give health care to all mothers and children, to all poor villages along the River Nile banks. And here is the inauguration with Ministry of Health, Dr. Hala Zaid. It was a great pleasure to have you with us at these very important moments. Unfortunately, the program or the project had to stop because of the COVID-19, but fortunately, we will resume again this project by this coming April, hopefully, if everything goes fine until then. Also, President Barry Rassin, we had the pleasure also of negotiating also this very important project in Luxor, where we transformed a whole village with renovation of houses and refurbishing it, with supplying drinkable water. And actually we changed the lives of a complete village. And your presence was a great pleasure and honor, sir. Since then, every year with the help of the district, we are renovating another poor village. Last year and this year, also this year, we're going to work on another village in also southern Egypt as well. Barry Rassin, it's always a great pleasure and honor to have you. Welcome to our Zoom meeting with fellow Rotaractors. I know your passion about Rotaract. I know how you taught us to take very good care of Rotaract during your year. And for me as a Rotaractor, a past Rotaractor as well, this is my passion. I'm sharing it with you. We're very happy to be we're very happy that you are with us tonight. And we are always waiting for you in Egypt. We are waiting, as you promised, for your kind visit to Egypt soon. Thank you so much. Please, my friends, welcome Rotary, past Rotary International President, Barry Rassin.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Abdul, and seeing those photographs. So many amazing moments of my visit with you, and certainly being in Egypt and seeing you do and meeting so many good Rotarians. I have wonderful memories. One of my favorite moments during my year in Rotary, President. And you're right. Always great to have an opportunity to talk about Rotaract. I'm getting some feedback. I don't know. Anyway, I'll continue. We are on a journey to make Rotaract, make the changes in Rotaract that we need.
There is an echo in the sound, Mohammed. Please try to solve this problem.
Yes, please.
I think now it can be right.
Why. Seems like it might have gone away.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's okay. Good.
Okay, we're good now. Good. So our journey started at the Council on Legislation a couple of years ago when the Rotary world said, yes, it's important that Rotaract clubs be equal to Rotary clubs. That's a significant change in our organization and a significant change for Rotaract. And we should always look at that day, and I'll never forget that day, as the beginning of a long journey for our Rotaract clubs and our Rotaract members. And we have come so far since then. You know, Rotary isn't always quick to change, as I'm sure you know. And yet I've seen this be some of the more significant changes in a short period of time that I've ever seen in Rotary. And that, I think, tells you how the Rotary world sees with importance the need for changes for our Rotaractors. We have added the dues. I know we don't all like to pay dues. That's a reality. Rotarians don't like to pay them either, but there is a need, and we've kept them as small as we could. We start July 1st of next year. That will help us raise some funds to actually continue the benefits to Rotaractors for being in the organization as we are. We also made Rotaractors eligible to host global grants, to be international partners, to be eligible for foundation awards like meritorious service, distinguished service. Again, that brings to you the equality that any Rotarian, as well as any Rotaractor, has equal access. That's true. You're going to need to get some experience with working with the grants if you haven't already had them. And with that experience, that puts you in that opportunity once again to receive these awards and to get involved in grants. While you're eligible July 1st of next year, you're going to need to spend some time working with the foundation so you get yourself in a position to be eligible to actually receive an award like that. And as you know, the board removed the maximum age of 30, but they gave it to you. They gave that decision to a Rotaract club to determine if you really want to change that age. You have choices. You could keep it the way it was with a maximum age of 30. You could raise the age, or you could just eliminate it so there is no maximum age to be in a Rotaract club. The idea here was simply that we all mature in our lives, both family and professionally and individually, at a different rate. Some of us may be ready at 30, some of us may be ready at 34 to move on to a Rotary club. And we shouldn't use an arbitrary number to determine when Rotaractors should move into a Rotary club. That should be your decision. So the board wisely made that choice and put that into your ability as a Rotaract club to make those decisions. And the intent is still that to join a Rotaract club, you should be between 18 and 30. The intent from there never changed. So where I hear in some countries a 60-year-old wants to join a Rotaract club, that's not really what we intended. Okay, so keep that in mind. And again, it's up to a Rotaract club. But coming into a Rotaract, it's important that a young person has an opportunity to learn about Rotary and our mottos and our programs while working with people of their own age. That's a great way to start in our Rotary movement. But as you learn and grow, then there's an opportunity later to become part of a Rotary club. And that should be, again, at your own time. So that's important to remember. We also have to remember that it's a two-way street. We have, as you know, an expression, E-R-E-Y, E-Ray, every Rotarian every year. I'd like to see that change to every Rotarian and every Rotaractor every year. Why? Because I think we all have a responsibility to give something to our Rotary Foundation every year. It doesn't have to be much, it's what you can afford, but that way you truly feel like a part of the Rotary Foundation. And that's an important factor as we move forward. We also wanted to make sure that Rotaractors have opportunity for growth, for personal development. So we partnered with Toastmasters International to develop some programs, which they've done. They're on Rotary.org. They're available to you, and they're great leadership programs to help you grow your leadership skills. That is another reason for people to be in Rotaract or Rotary, to develop themselves as individuals. So with the Toastmasters program, you have access to learning more about leadership skills. Our Learning Center has been redone in the last year, and it's really much better than it used to be. And that also is available to all Rotaractors so that you can learn about Rotary and other things in our world of service that we live. We also talk to Rotary clubs a lot about the need for a Rotary club to think a little differently about how they view Rotaract. Too many Rotary clubs in the past didn't spend the time with Rotaractors. And what we want is for Rotary and Rotaract to work together, to get to know each other, to create those relationships. Because once you have a relationship, then you have no problem in working together. Age becomes irrelevant. So that's important. And as you develop those relationships, as you get to know each other, Rotary and Rotaract, you also then have the opportunity to mentor each other. And I say each other because while people my age bring experience and an understanding of Rotary to the table, you bring an understanding of today's world to the table. You bring the understanding of technology, the appreciation of the need for change and the need for change quickly, which some of us as we get older, we like what we have and don't really want to change, but we know we need to. We need to bring all of that together so we're working together in the same capacity. It's also important to appreciate that Rotary, Rotaract, we have worked really diligently to make sure that Rotaractors are in leadership positions in all aspects of our organization. We've asked Rotary Club committees to add Rotaractors as leaders, maybe co-chairs of committees and the clubs. We've asked the districts to add Rotaractors to the district committees. The Rotary International Board and the Rotary Foundation trustees have added a Rotaractor to their body to sit at the table to provide their suggestions, recommendations, perspectives on decisions that are being made by Rotary International. Today, it's not a voting position, but at some point, we definitely want to take that to the Council on Legislation so that Rotaractor sitting at the table also has a vote in what the board and what the trustees do. The Rotary International Foundation in Canada has added a Rotaractor to their board. And of course, we have the Rotary International Rotaract Committee, which continues to make suggestions and recommendations to the board of Rotary International. So why do we do all this? Why did we make all these changes? Why? Because age shouldn't be a factor in leadership. We want younger leaders in our Rotary organization. In the topic you hear about the future of Rotary with Rotaract, I know that there are Rotaractors right here in this room and Rotaractors around the world who have an opportunity at some point in the future to be the president of Rotary International. It's there for you. In this organization, politics for those kind of leadership positions plays a very small part. I'd love to say it doesn't exist, but well, I can't go that far, but I can tell you it plays a very small part because if politics were there, I would never have achieved the position of president. That means any one of us, Rotaract or Rotary, has an opportunity by hard work, by diligence, by understanding Rotary and its values to become the president of Rotary International. But that means you need to get involved. That means as Rotaractors, to achieve that, you've got to show that you have the capability, the skills, the knowledge of Rotary, and the willingness to put in the time and the effort to get our organization where it needs to be. You can do that. I've seen our young professionals, their diligence, their hard work, their passion I love the Rotaract passion for what we do in service around the world. It's so critical to have that kind of passion. And I've also seen the Rotaract attitude that we need to make change and we need to make change quickly. And I totally agree with you. And I know sometimes that's frustrating because we don't make change quickly. Although with Rotaract, as I said earlier, we have made changes quickly. So to take that, you need to take a more aggressive role in working with Rotarians and with Rotary clubs. Many Rotary clubs, I'll admit, need to have a culture change. They need to change how they operate their clubs and welcome in our young professionals more than they have in the past. You know, you think of our average age of Rotary clubs around the world, and it's pretty high. So it's difficult for them always to make a change. But as I say, you get to know them, then the change is a whole lot easier. So, but it's not only their responsibility to get to know you, it's your responsibility to get to know them. Again, a two-way street. So we need to talk to Rotary clubs about just stepping back from their club and asking themselves, is this the kind of club that a young professional would want to be a member of? And if the answer is no, then what do they have to do to make changes? For them, the easiest thing is to bring in a Rotaractor and ask you, what do you think we should do? So in my talks to Rotary clubs, I remind them they need to listen. They need to invite our young professionals, our Rotaractors, to the club and just talk with them and listen to you, your suggestions, your recommendations as what you believe should change. And you need to have patience. If they're listening, you know that that's a great sign to moving forward to the future. But have patience as you work with them to make those changes. It's important that Rotaractors begin to take on those leadership positions in Rotary and Rotaract. So you need to be the president of the club, you need to get to that DRR, but you also need to be ready to be a Rotary club president, a Rotary district governor. Why not? We're talking now about developing a new structure for the Rotary world. And in that new structure, we're recommending that Rotaractors are also eligible to be district governors. And yes, that's a time-consuming job, and you may not have the time at your point in your career and your family to do that, but there are some who do. Last year, less than 6% of our district governors were under the age of 60. 6%. See, that's not a good balance. Now, I'm over 60, as you know, and I have a great respect for those of us who are here because we do bring that a value for our experience, for our knowledge of Rotary, et cetera. But we need a better balance. 6% less than 60 is just not good enough. So we're pushing hard to ensure that our Rotaractors can get an opportunity for leadership positions in Rotary. But that means you need to be ready for it. You need to hone your skills, your personal development, so you can be ready when Rotary is ready for you to take on those leadership roles. That is our future. You are our future, not as a Rotaract club, but as an individual who is going to be with us on this journey through Rotaract and then Rotary. Really important. So get involved with Rotary clubs as well as Rotaract. Get involved, get to know your district governor, get to know your DRR. Make sure you're working with them and understanding the Rotary world. And Rotary International, we're a complex organization. You know, somebody asked me the other day to tell us about Rotary in 10 minutes. I can't do it. It's impossible. We are complicated, and that makes it more difficult to get new members to really understand what Rotary is all about. I mean, the bottom line is we're here to make our world a better place. We're here to bring world peace and understanding. We're here to bring service. But there's so many parts of the organization that relate to all of that. And we need to be aware of them so that we can use them. I mean, are you a member of a fellowship? You'll get to know Rotarians that way. Are you a member of an action group? You have a passion for the environment, then join the Rotary Action Group for the environment. Get more involved in a deeper level as to what the Rotary world is doing. And when you do that, you're following your passion for a particular path in Rotary, and that helps excite you and motivate you to continue your journey. We started this journey because we want all 240,000 Rotaractors to join Rotary when you're ready. Now, some have come back and said, well, that means you're trying to get rid of Rotaract, just make them all Rotary clubs. No, never intended that. There is a very important place for a Rotaract club to entice young professionals to join our organization. We need Rotaract clubs, but we also need Rotaractors to join Rotary clubs when they're ready to do so. That's where our future relies on you and what you do. And I advise Rotaractors, when you're ready, join a Rotary club. If you don't see a Rotary club you like, either work with them to make it one you like, or start your own Rotary club. You can do that now. So there's lots of ways to continue your journey. One good way to continue the fellowship and get to know Rotarians is to have a social event. Have your Rotaract have a social event and then invite the Rotary Club to it. So they will come and get to know you in a different capacity. And by the way, I always tell Rotary clubs to do the same thing. That is important. So you want to be included in whatever the district is doing. If they have a district conference, go to the district conference if you can at all do that. Get involved with the district committees. Get involved with what the organization is doing. So that's basically my recommendations to you as Rotaractors. I am a strong believer that we need to reduce the average age of the organization, not just for the sake of diversity. We need to reduce the average age because we need your thinking. We need your enthusiasm. We need your understanding that change needs to happen at a faster level. We need you in Rotary so that we can move in the right direction for the future of this organization. That means we need you as leaders. We've created a path in all aspects of the organization for you to follow to get into those leadership positions. So now it's up to you to follow that path. Follow your dream. You want to make the world a better place. That's what young professionals always talk about. You want to be a part of making the world a better place. What better organization in the world than Rotary International to do just that? We're still rated for I think 7 or 8 years as a 4-star rating by Charity Navigator, the highest rating you can get. We're in one of the top foundations of the world. LinkedIn recently said that we're one of the top 10 humanitarian volunteer organizations in the world. You're part of the best. And you're part of the best because you are in it. And I am in it. And Mohammed is in it. Because Abdul is in it. Each one of us as individuals brings something to the table to make this organization the best opportunity to make our world a better place. Please stay with us, continue the journey, join that Rotary Club when you're ready, so that I can look back at some point in the future and say, that was one of our Rotaractors who just became president of Rotary International. I wish you all the very best, and I thank you so much for listening to me today, and continue your journey. I know it's going to be a great one. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barry. I really feel astonishing about what you said. And that's why our current Rotary International president, Mr. Shekhtar, said in one of the conferences that when he enters Rotaract or Rotary from about 30 years or something like that, He just joined because he wants to know more people, not serving, not anything. But yeah, I realized this right now from your talk. We're gonna start to see our questions. Wow, I think we got a bulk of questions. And if anyone wants to say anything, he can raise hand and start talking. Actually, our first question is, wow, it's a tough one. Uh,
Rotaract
what?
is always asked the hardest questions.
Yeah, I see that. What's your feeling when actually from about 4 months or something like that at LinkedIn, they saw that you remained for more than 41 years in Rotary. When our new guest in the club sees that, oh wow, why he's staying for this? Oh, it's really amazing. Is this really? It's really astonishing. How do you want to do something like that? I want to advise the new Rotaractors for something like this.
Good question. It's, I always think when I'm introduced, they say I'm in Rotary 41 years. And when this is a Rotaract club, nobody in the audience was born when I joined Rotary. It's kind of a frightening moment. But the first couple of years in Rotary, I kind of, I joined because I needed to meet the businessmen in my community. I was starting a new business. I needed their support and wanted them involved. So I joined for that reason. I didn't know anything about Rotary. I had no idea. I knew they did good things. That's about it. But I was invited. I joined the club. I slowly got to meet the members. I went to our service programs, and still 2 years in, I didn't really get a passion for it. I was just for my business, my networking. And then they asked me to do something. And this is why it's so important to engage each and every member of our clubs in a project or a program. They came to me, I was the community service chair. They came to me and said, we have an individual who is in a wheelchair. She's on dialysis. She's got kidney failure. And now her eyes are going bad. We need to send her from my country to the USA for surgery. So make it happen. I said, well, how am I going to make that happen? You have a budget? No, we have no budget. Okay, great. So I went to the directory of Rotary International and I looked up in Rotary clubs in the South Florida area where the hospital was she needed to go. I called somebody and asked them, Rotarian, if they had knowledge of a hospital that could help me with this. They said, no problem. We'll put you in touch with somebody. They put me in touch with somebody who was also a Rotarian, worked with the hospital. They said, we'll do this for free. This will be a charity on us. I said, great. Who would the doctor be? We'll get somebody to call you. Within 20 minutes, I had a call from a doctor who knew Rotary very well, said he would do it for free. I said, wow, that's fantastic. Do you know anybody in the club who has anything to do with the hotel? Yes, of course. Again, within an hour, I had a call from a member of the club. They had a hotel. They would provide me with a room as long as I wanted for the patient and her daughter who was going to take care of her. Wow. Now, all I needed to get them there, I went to a local airline, explained the situation, and they said, of course, we'll give you the airfare there and back. I was astounded. All you had to do is pick up a phone and call a Rotarian, and they would make things happen so you could help people. That's when I really became a Rotarian. And that's when I got a passion for this organization. And I've had experiences like that over and over again in my life, where once you can reach out to somebody who wears this Rotary pin or Rotaractor, then you can solve problems and get help for people. And that's why I can't leave Rotary. It's part of my life, part of my family, and I will be here until the day I can't possibly do it.
Yeah, and I wish everyone get his passion to be his leader in Rotary and Rotaract. So our second question is, how is the connection between Rotary and Rotaract can be improved, as from about 2 days, an MDIO like Rotaract Mediterranean make a big event for connecting Rotary and Rotaract, and they make a big discussion between Rotarians and Rotaractors to make more connections, as they saw that every project made by Rotarian and Rotaractor can be more beneficial than Rotaractor only or a Rotarian only. How you see this can be better by double penning or making project or sessions? What do you think about it?
Really important thing that we need to do. We need to improve that relationship. First of all, invite Rotary Club, the Rotarians, to whatever functions you're putting on. The MDIO is a great opportunity. And always work with the district governor, so the district governor can help you to convince Rotarians to come to your events. You know, it's all about developing those relationships. If some of the Rotarians get to know you, they're going to come whenever you invite them. If they don't know you at all, don't know what you do, they're more reluctant. So you need to get to know them. Go to the Rotary Club and introduce yourself and get on the program. Tell Rotarians who you are and what Rotaractors do. Too many Rotarians around the world don't know what Rotaract is doing. And yet when I go to some countries, I use Turkey as an example, the projects and the programs they showed me were all Rotaract programs because they're as good as or better than Rotary clubs. But Rotarians aren't seeing that around the world. So they need to understand it. So take the opportunity, go to the Rotaract Club, go to the Rotary Club, create that relationship and that understanding for each other. Get the district governor involved, so the district governor is helping. Once you've done that, then when you send out invitations, you will get Rotarians to come and attend your functions.
Yeah, that's really good. All right. Someone says that I see from the new rules that Rotaractors are now eligible to serve on the district level or the Rotary International committees. Can you talk to us about much more about Rotary International committees? As some people say, I have a lot of thinking ideas that can be beneficial for Rotary International. How I can be in these committees?
Again, make it known to the right people in your district governor being one, that you have an interest in working on Rotary International committees. We're trying to get a Rotaractor on every committee in Rotary. It's a lot easier now than it was. I mean, you know, we have to look at this pandemic as an opportunity. Before that, we would have to pay for the travel to go to Chicago for a lot of the committees. Now we're all on Zoom. We all have an opportunity to attend a committee meeting. So just make it known that you're interested and that you'd like to be a part of a Rotary committee. You know, our organization is very big. So when the president looks out for a Rotaractor to represent on the board or at the trustees or at a committee, then he's first going to go to those he knows and ask. So the reality is, an organization of this size, you need to get known. And that means at least with district governors, they need to know you. If the president comes to town, be bold and go up to the president and introduce yourself and tell the president you would like to be a part of the organization in a leadership capacity. Make it known what your specialty is. Maybe you're in the business of public relations. Why not be on the public relations committee? We need expertise on all our committees. If you're an accountant, maybe you could sit on the finance committee. Take that opportunity whenever you have it to introduce yourself, tell them about yourself quickly, because they're not going to give you a whole lot of time. That's just a reality. And let them know what you bring to the table. Once you do that, you'll have an opportunity.
Yeah, I think this is a great words for this. Someone says, I don't know, it's a funny one, but that by 2022, Rotaractors will pay the annual per capita of either $5 or $8. What is this rule? And why a Rotaractor will need to make something like this?
Okay, we added the dues, $5 and $8, that is correct. It starts July 1st of next year. We gave you 3 years to get ready for that. So Rotaract clubs could think about how to do it, and maybe there's a club service event you could have to raise funds to help everybody if you need to. But when you pay something to be a member of an organization, it makes more of a personal commitment that you believe in the organization. So from your perspective, you're now committed. And when you pay something into it, you're ready to make suggestions and recommendations even stronger than you were before. On the other side, Rotary has an obligation when you pay dues to give you satisfaction, to give you benefits for being in the organization. One benefit that still hasn't been done and we're working with, but it's literally millions of dollars, is to change Rotary.org and My Rotary so that every Rotaractor can have the same access as every Rotarian. I put this on the list of things that needed to be done, what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago. And they were finishing a big project that cost like $3 million. They had to finish that first. That has now been implemented. So we're getting closer and closer to making this major change. When that happens, then you have equal access, truly, in all aspects. But that costs money. And the reality is Rotary needed to raise a couple of dollars so they could do that. So it's a two-way street. You get a better feeling of being a member of an organization, and Rotary then has an obligation to give you more benefits to that. And so you can benefit even more than you can today. So that was the reasoning behind the dues.
Yeah, I think I got it for this. And we can get a last one because I think it will be very long. It's about the roles of MDIO. Yeah, I got it. As someone says, here from Egypt, as example, we are related to the MDIO Rotaract Mediterranean, and we are about to be joining Rotaract Africa, the new MDIO. How do you see that MDIO can be a benefit for the Rotaract clubs and Rotaractors for their work, and also for being a Rotarian or help for Rotarian club?
I think MDIOs are a great opportunity to really get involved with Rotary on an international basis. An MDIO brings conversation together from many parts of a region of the world so that you can learn from other clubs, other Rotaractors. You get to meet more people. You get that international flavor, which you don't get when you're just only at home in your home club. And you get an opportunity to have a stronger voice. When an MDIO that represents a big region makes recommendations, Rotary has to listen to that. And when all the MDIOs get together and make recommendations to the Rotary International Board, they have to listen to them. So you get a stronger voice. You should be a part of that. It's such an important facet that the new structure that we're working on, we're actually going to copy the concept of an MDIO. We want maybe 45 regions around the world that have a regional council that brings 20 to 30 districts together in one grouping. Very similar to what an MDIO does. We also want to give them, though, even more administrative responsibility for the region so they can work with all the clubs stronger. So I believe MDIOs carry a very good position that Rotaractors should get involved with them and understand, meet more people, meet more of the international aspects of Rotary, and it benefits you as individuals, it benefits your Rotaract clubs, and it gives you a greater voice in the Rotary world. You're muted, Mohammed. Mohammed, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I can't tell you how I'm glad for your speech today and for your great coming for us. And I really want this not to be virtual, as Mr. Abdelhamid said. We want to see you in Egypt soon. Um, and as a part of recognition for your speech at our second episode for Sunrise series, we're gonna give you your certificate. And I will send it to you by mail. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. And thank you all for attending with us. As that's our end of our session, but we're gonna end it. And we're gonna end it with our great song about the four-way test. We all love it. I think is it.
Rotary flag as the flag of peace and world. I shall serve my community, help achieve universal unity. To Rotary I shall dedicate my all. World understanding shall be my cherished goal. With a four-way test, I'll pursue my quest, living my little way of a day. Peace in the world, I shall not have lived in service above self, lend a hand to all who need my help. I'll give my spouse to involve in Rotary, and in Rotary ways I will train my family. With a four-way test, we'll pursue our quest, living our little way of a day. Peace in the world, we shall not have lived in build a bridge for tomorrow's youth, strengthened by nothing but the truth. Let's join our hands, there's no reason we'll divide. We shall all understand why the good Lord is our guide. With a four-way test, we'll pursue our quest, living our little way of the day. Peace in the world, we shall not have lived in vain. Peace be achieved, we shall not have lived in
And of course, we are all people of action and want to all to remember our Sunrise series is always here for help you for for talking about each challenge and make our clubs better, for helping our communities to be much better. So I want to say thank you for you all. You can follow our page on Facebook and Instagram to see more about our events and projects. I will thank you everyone who attend, from Rotarians, Rotaractors, and of course, especially for our past Rotary International President, Mr. Barry. And always want to see you all in the great ways, helping our communities through your great projects. Thank you.